Welcome back to our channel World of Coins, the place where we uncover hidden treasures in your coin collection. Have you ever wondered if that old coins could be worth thousands or even millions? Well, today's your lucky day. We're diving into some of the rarest and most valuable US coins that might be sitting right under your nose. Let's jump in and see if you've got a fortune waiting to be discovered. Top 1. The Lincoln 1-cent penny has been an icon of American coinage for more than a century, but some years hide extraordinary treasures that can take even seasoned collectors by surprise. One such year is 1979, a time when millions of pennies rolled off the presses, yet a small number emerged with qualities that make them incredibly rare and valuable today. At first glance, a 1979 penny may seem like nothing more than a common piece of change, but for the right coin in the right condition, the value can be staggering. The obverse of the coin features the classic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner in 1909. This enduring design shows Lincoln's right-facing profile, marked with wisdom and dignity, and surrounded by the inscriptions Liberty, Indiana, God We Trust, and the date of mintage. By 1979, this portrait had already become one of the most recognizable images in all of American currency. On the reverse, the coin displays the Lincoln Memorial, a design introduced in 1959 to honor the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. This view of the memorial captures its neoclassical architecture in fine detail, with the word United States of America and the national motto E Pluribus Unum above it, and the denomination 1 cent positioned below. If you look closely, you can even see a tiny representation of Lincoln seated inside the memorial. In 1979, the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints struck Lincoln pennies. Philadelphia's coins had no mint mark, Denver's bore a small D, and San Francisco produced proof coins marked with an S. While the mintage numbers were high, the most valuable examples from this year have something that ordinary coins do not: perfect condition, rare errors, or striking characteristics that make them stand out. Condition is one of the most important factors in a coin's value. While billions of pennies were produced in 1979, the vast majority went into circulation, where they were exposed to scratches, wear, and handling damage. Finding one in pristine, uncirculated condition is much harder than most people think. Collectors also look for sharpness in the design details. On the obverse, every strand of Lincoln's hair and the contours of his face should be crisp and well defined. On the reverse, the lines and columns of the Lincoln Memorial should be sharp and clear, with no blurring from worn dies. Proof coins from San Francisco are highly desirable for their mirrored fields and frosted designs. These coins were made with special care for collectors and never intended for general circulation. A flawless proof penny from 1979 can be a beauty to behold, and in top grades, they can bring impressive prices. Minting errors are another source of value. Some 1979 Lincoln pennies are known with double die obverse, off-center strikes, or striking on the wrong metal planchet. These unusual pieces are the result of rare accidents at the mint, and each example can be unique, adding to its appeal. The market for Lincoln pennies has always been strong because the series is one of the most widely collected in the United States. Many collectors aim to complete year-by-year sets, and finding the highest quality example for each year can be a lifelong challenge. This demand helps push the prices of rare, high-grade coins ever higher. A 1979 penny in low grade may be worth only its face value, but a gem-quality coin certified by a professional grading service can fetch thousands of times that amount. When such a coin combines perfect surfaces, strong strike, and rarity, it becomes a centerpiece in any collection. The beauty of coin collecting is that valuable finds can appear in unexpected places. A rare 1979 penny could be sitting in a jar of loose change, resting in an inherited collection, or hidden in a roll from the bank. This possibility keeps collectors searching and inspecting every coin they encounter. The Lincoln cent's long history adds to its charm. Since 1909, it has undergone small design changes but has always carried Lincoln's iconic image. Each year's mintage tells part of the story of America's economic and cultural journey. For those who appreciate history, the 1979 penny also reflects a time of transition in U.S. coinage, as the mint prepared for changes in metal composition and the challenges of the 1980s. It is a small but tangible piece of that era. Collectors know that the value of a coin comes not just from its metal, but from the combination of condition, rarity, and demand. A top-quality 1979 Lincoln penny represents the best of all three. Auction results have shown that when an extraordinary specimen appears, competition among bidders can drive prices to remarkable heights. The most stunning examples are more than just coins, they are works of art in miniature. Even those who are new to coin collecting can appreciate the thrill of finding something rare in everyday change. The 1979 penny is a perfect reminder that hidden treasures can still be found with patience and knowledge. Over time, these high-grade survivors from 1979 will only become scarcer as circulation continues to wear down the remaining coins. This makes now an ideal time for collectors to search for and preserve the best examples. So, the next time you see a 1979 Lincoln penny, take a moment to examine it closely. Look for sharp details, brilliant luster, and any unusual features that could set it apart from the rest, because among the finest examples ever discovered, one spectacular 1979 Lincoln 1-cent penny has been valued at an astounding $104,000. Top 2. The year 1980 marked a new decade for American coinage, and among the coins that rolled out of the U.S. Mint, the Lincoln 1-cent penny of that year stands out for its fascinating place in history. Struck in the wake of the copper-to-zinc transition just a few years earlier, the 1980 penny carried with it the enduring charm of the Lincoln design, a tribute to the nation's 16th president that had already been in circulation for over 70 years at that point. While billions of these pennies were produced, a select few have become rare and valuable treasures due to their condition, minting anomalies, and collector demand. This penny's obverse proudly bears the profile of Abraham Lincoln, as sculpted by Victor David Brenner back in 1909. The fine details in his hair, beard, and coat lapel are part of what collectors love to see preserved in sharp relief. In well-worn circulation coins, those details fade, but in pristine examples, they remain crisp and clear, catching light in a way that instantly tells a trained eye this coin is something special. The reverse side of the 1980 Lincoln penny features the familiar Lincoln Memorial design by Frank Gasparo. This artwork was introduced in 1959 to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, replacing the original wheat ears design. The tiny seated figure of Lincoln inside the memorial is a delightful detail, often overlooked by casual observers but highly valued by those who understand its craftsmanship. In 1980, the pennies were still being minted with a composition of 95% copper and 5% zinc, which gave them a rich, warm color that is different from the lighter tone of later zinc-based pennies. This heavier copper alloy also adds to their appeal because copper coins tend to age with beautiful patinas, creating a unique look for each piece over time. The Philadelphia and Denver mints produced the majority of these coins, with San Francisco striking proof versions for collectors. While ordinary examples are still plentiful, what sets certain 1980 pennies apart are their exceptional grades, uncirculated status, or rare mint errors that occurred during production. Mint errors from this year can range from off-center strikes to double dies and even planchet flaws, each dramatically increasing a coin's value. Some of these errors are visible even without magnification, making them particularly exciting finds for hobbyists who sort through rolls of pennies hoping to strike gold, or in this case, copper. The allure of the 1980 penny is further enhanced by nostalgia. For many, these coins were part of everyday life, handed over at candy stores, vending machines, and diners across America. Owning a pristine or rare example is like holding a piece of personal history that also happens to be financially valuable. Collectors today often seek the highest graded examples certified by professional grading services. A coin graded MS 67 or higher can command remarkable prices, especially if it displays full red luster and no signs of wear. These are the types of coins that often end up in high-profile auctions. One remarkable aspect of the Lincoln Cent series is its uninterrupted run since 1909, making it the longest-running design in U.S. coinage history. The 1980 issue is part of that legacy, bridging the late 20th century's numismatic story with the enduring symbol of Lincoln's leadership. It's worth noting that the market for these coins is driven not just by rarity but by demand among collectors who specialize in certain decades or who aim to complete a full set of Lincoln cents. A top-tier 1980 penny can fill an important slot in such a collection. The Philadelphia Mint's coins from this year carried no mint mark, while Denver's coins bore the familiar D. This distinction can matter to specialists, as some mint strikes from a given year can be harder to find in flawless condition. Those lucky enough to find a high-grade or error coin from 1980 often discover it hidden in plain sight. tucked in old jars, forgotten drawers, or inherited collections. The thrill of spotting such a coin in the wild is part of what keeps the hobby so engaging. The 1980 penny also represents a transitional era just before the major composition change in 1982. As such, it's among the last group of predominantly copper cents, giving it a material connection to a bygone era of American currency. Its rich color and weight feel more substantial than today's lighter pennies, and collectors often remark on the satisfying heft of these older coins compared to their modern counterparts. When examining a 1980 penny, specialists pay close attention to strike quality, luster, and any die varieties that may exist. Even subtle differences can separate a common coin from one worth thousands. Over the decades, stories have circulated about extraordinary sales of such coins at auctions. These tales inspire new generations of collectors to check their change and investigate their family's coin stashes. High-value examples have been known to emerge from unlikely places, proving that even a coin most people overlook can turn out to be a treasure. For those who cherish the history of American coinage, the 1980 Lincoln penny is more than just a denomination. It's a symbol of artistry, tradition, and hidden potential. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just starting out, the story of this coin serves as a reminder that value can be found in the smallest of objects, and in the case of one extraordinary 1980 Lincoln 1-cent penny, that value reached an astonishing $100,000. Top 3. The year 1981 may seem ordinary for most people, but for coin collectors, it hides a secret worth talking about. Among the countless coins produced in the United States Mint, the Lincoln 1-cent penny from 1981 holds a special charm. This humble copper beauty, which most people spent without a second thought, can today be a star in the world of numismatics. The story of this coin is not just about its face value, but about how rarity, history, and condition can turn a small piece of metal into a treasure. When you first glance at the 1981 Lincoln penny, it might look just like any other. The familiar face of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner in 1909, stares proudly ahead, symbolizing honor and resilience. But beneath that familiar design lies a fascinating chapter in coin history. In 1981, the United States Mint was at the brink of a major change, moving from mostly copper pennies to a copper-plated zinc composition that began in 1982. That makes 1981 one of the last years you could still find solid copper cents, making them more desirable to collectors. Every tiny detail on this coin tells a story. From Lincoln's sharp profile to the bold Liberty inscription and the crisp date, 1981, a well-preserved example can look like it was struck yesterday. On the reverse, the Lincoln Memorial stands as a symbol of national pride, with every column carefully detailed. Collectors love finding examples where every letter and line is perfectly sharp, because such quality is increasingly rare. The mintage of the 1981 penny was massive, with billions produced. But here's where the magic of coin collecting comes in. Not all coins survive the years in pristine condition. Most have been worn down, scratched, or even destroyed. That's why the hunt is on for those rare specimens that have been preserved exactly as they left the mint. The rarer the condition, the higher the value. Some 1981 Lincoln pennies also come with special variations or mint errors. Striking errors, off-center strikes, double dies, and clipped planchets can all turn an ordinary penny into something worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Collectors are always keeping their eyes peeled for these rarities. It's not just about the design or the metal, it's also about the historical context. In 1981, the U.S. economy was shifting, inflation was high, and the cost of producing coins was rising. That's why the transition to zinc happened so soon after. A 1981 copper penny is like holding a last piece of an era before cost-cutting changed U.S. coinage forever. Condition is everything in the coin world. A 1981 penny straight from circulation might be worth only its face value, but one in a high-grade mint state, untouched and well-preserved, can fetch serious money. Collectors grade coins based on luster, sharpness of detail, and absence of blemishes, and top-graded coins can skyrocket in value. It's thrilling to think that such a small coin, easily overlooked, could be a hidden jackpot. Many people unknowingly have 1981 pennies sitting in jars, drawers, or old wallets. That's why it's always worth checking before spending or exchanging them. The Lincoln cent is the longest-running design in U.S. history, and the 1981 penny is a proud part of that legacy. Its mix of history, design, and rarity makes it an irresistible target for coin enthusiasts. When these coins appear at auctions in flawless condition, bidding wars can erupt. Collectors know that as the years pass, the number of high-quality 1981 pennies will only decrease, making them even more sought after. Finding one in uncirculated condition can feel like unearthing buried treasure. The bright red luster of a fresh copper strike can be mesmerizing, and it's what serious collectors are willing to pay a premium for. Many collectors also enjoy completing a date set of Lincoln cents, which includes one example from each year. Having a perfect 1981 penny in such a set can significantly boost its overall value. If you have a penny from this year, it's worth inspecting closely. Look for full details in Lincoln's hair, sharp edges on the lettering, and a bright, original shine. These clues can indicate a coin that could be worth far more than 1 cent. The joy of coin collecting often lies in the unexpected, turning pocket change into a prized collectible. That's why the 1981 penny continues to fascinate hobbyists, historians, and treasure hunters alike. Its story reminds us that value isn't always about size or weight. Sometimes, it's about the journey a coin has taken and the era it represents. While most 1981 pennies will never leave their humble value behind, the rarest and best-preserved examples can achieve remarkable prices at auction. And the thrill of finding one keeps the passion for collecting alive. So next time you come across an old penny, don't just toss it aside. Look closer, because you might be holding a tiny piece of history worth far more than you think. After all, some of these 1981 Lincoln 1-cent pennies in exceptional condition have sold for as much as $96,000. Top 4. In the world of coin collecting, there are certain years that seem to whisper their own secrets, and the United States of America Lincoln 1-cent penny from 1991 is one such year. At first glance, it may seem like just another common copper-plated zinc coin, passed from hand to hand in everyday transactions. But for the keen-eyed collector, this humble penny holds the potential for extraordinary value, and it's that hidden treasure that has captivated numismatists for decades. The Lincoln cent series has been a staple of American currency since its debut in 1909, celebrating the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth. By 1991, the design had already been in circulation for over 80 years, yet it still carried a timeless charm. On the obverse, we see the enduring portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, standing as a proud reminder of America's history. The reverse of the 1991 penny still bore the iconic Lincoln Memorial design created by Frank Gasparo, a miniature monument etched with such detail that, with the right magnification, even the statue of Lincoln himself could be seen seated inside. This design was in place until 2008, making coins from this era an important chapter in U.S. minting history. While millions of 1991 Lincoln cents were produced, most were struck for everyday commerce and thus bear the marks and wear of circulation. What makes certain pieces from this year truly exceptional are the rare mint errors or high-grade, pristine examples that manage to survive the passage of time untouched. Some 1991 pennies display unusual features such as off-center strikes, double die obverse errors, or remarkable luster and strike quality that set them apart from the common coins rattling in jars and pockets. These rarities are the reason collectors will sometimes pay staggering sums for a coin that others might dismiss as ordinary pocket change. The metal composition of the 1991 Lincoln cent was primarily zinc with a thin copper plating, a change introduced in 1982 to reduce production costs. Despite this modest makeup, it's the craftsmanship, preservation, and rarity that can transform such a coin into a valuable collector's piece. Collectors know that condition is everything in the world of coins. A 1991 penny in circulated condition might only be worth face value, but one in pristine mint state, graded by a professional grading service, can reach astounding figures. The difference lies in the absence of scratches, nicks, and discoloration that inevitably come from years of use. Some of the most desirable 1991 Lincoln cents have been found in original mint sets or sealed rolls, protected from the wear of everyday handling. These coins often boast sharp details and brilliant red luster, qualities that collectors are always on the lookout for. Auction houses and online marketplaces have seen intense bidding wars for high-grade 1991 pennies. The competition can be fierce, with passionate collectors determined to secure the best of the best for their personal collections. There's also the thrill of the hunt. Many collectors enjoy searching through bank rolls, coin jars, and estate sales, hoping to stumble upon that one perfect 1991 Lincoln penny. The possibility of finding a rare gem where others see only spare change adds an exciting element of adventure to the hobby. Interestingly, the value of rare 1991 pennies isn't just about scarcity, it's also about historical significance. These coins are a tangible link to the early 1990s, a period of transition in American culture, technology, and politics. Owning such a coin is like holding a small piece of that history in your hand. Mint marks also play an important role in collectability. The 1991 Lincoln cent was struck at the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints, each leaving its own tiny mark, or lack thereof, on the coin's obverse. Some mint locations are known for producing coins with particular qualities, making them especially prized among specialists. The Philadelphia mint coins of 1991 had no mint mark, while Denver coins bore the familiar D, and San Francisco produced proof coins with the S mint mark. Each of these variations holds its own appeal for different types of collectors. Proof coins from 1991, with their mirror-like fields and frosted devices, are especially breathtaking and can command higher prices when preserved in flawless condition. These are the coins that never saw a cash register or pocket, they were made solely for collectors and presentation. The allure of the 1991 Lincoln penny lies in its ability to bridge the gap between the ordinary and the extraordinary. It reminds us that even the smallest denomination can carry immense value under the right circumstances. For some, the fascination comes from knowing that the coin in their possession might be one of the finest known examples from its year, a status that can elevate its worth dramatically. For others, it's about the joy of discovery and the satisfaction of adding another piece to a carefully curated collection. The story of the 1991 penny is also a reminder that numismatics is as much about passion as it is about profit. Collectors spend countless hours researching, searching, and preserving these coins, driven by a love for history, artistry, and rarity. Whether you're a seasoned collector or someone who has just discovered the hobby, the 1991 Lincoln cent offers a fascinating glimpse into the rich world of coin collecting. And for one especially rare and pristine example, the value can soar to an incredible $66,000. Top 5. In the world of coin collecting, certain coins hold a charm that goes beyond their face value, becoming treasures sought after by collectors and enthusiasts alike. One such coin is the United States of America Lincoln 1-cent penny from the year 1993. At first glance, it may seem like just another small copper-plated coin, but hidden within its design and history is a fascinating story that makes it a prized possession for those who understand its worth. The Lincoln penny has been a part of American currency for over a century, first introduced in 1909 to honor the legacy of President Abraham Lincoln. Over the decades, its design has seen changes, but its significance has remained constant. The 1993 edition belongs to the Lincoln Memorial Reverse Series, which was produced from 1959 to 2008. This reverse design features the iconic Lincoln Memorial in stunning detail, with a tiny image of the seated Lincoln visible between the columns, a feature that many people overlook. Minted in both Philadelphia and Denver in 1993, these pennies were produced in the millions, but as collectors know, it's not just about how many were made, it's about the rarity of certain conditions, errors, and unique qualities. The majority of 1993 pennies are worth just their face value, but some rare examples have sold for extraordinary amounts due to their exceptional preservation or minting anomalies. One key factor in determining a coin's value is its condition, graded on the Sheldon scale from poor to mint state. A 1993 Lincoln penny in pristine mint state, with sharp details and full luster, can command a price far beyond what most people expect. This is because such a coin has survived decades without scratches, wear, or tarnish, making it a rare survivor among millions of circulated coins. Collectors also look for striking errors in 1993 pennies, such as double dies, off-center strikes, or even missing elements in the design. These minting mistakes, often caused by mechanical issues during production, can make a coin unique, instantly increasing its desirability and market value. In some cases, even a tiny doubling in the date or lettering can be worth a fortune to the right buyer. The 1993 Lincoln penny also stands out because of its transitional era placement. In the early 1980s, the U.S. Mint changed the composition of pennies from mostly copper to copper-plated zinc, and by 1993, the new material was well established. However, certain rare examples may still have unusual compositions or planchet errors, making them highly collectible. Another intriguing aspect is the human element of coin collecting. Every rare penny has a story. Perhaps it was tucked away in a jar for years, passed down through generations, or spotted by an eagle-eyed collector in a handful of change. The journey from pocket change to a collector's showcase is often as fascinating as the coin itself. The Lincoln Memorial design on the reverse side of the 1993 penny is a tribute to American history and architecture. The detailed engraving, tiny lettering, and overall symmetry of the design are testaments to the skill of the engravers at the U.S. Mint. Even in such a small space, the coin manages to convey a sense of dignity and national pride. For collectors, finding a flawless 1993 penny is like searching for a needle in a haystack. The vast majority have been handled, dropped, or exposed to the elements, dulling their surfaces and erasing fine details. That's why coins found in untouched rolls, sealed mint sets, or hidden collections can be so valuable. Market demand also plays a huge role in the value of these coins. As more people become interested in coin collecting, thanks in part to social media and online auctions, the competition for high-grade examples intensifies. This can cause prices to rise dramatically for coins that, on the surface, seem common but in reality are quite rare in certain conditions. The story of the 1993 Lincoln penny is also a reminder that treasure can hide in plain sight. Every day, countless people handle pennies without realizing that one of them could be worth thousands of dollars. That's why collectors often encourage beginners to carefully check their change, paying close attention to details like the mint mark, condition, and any unusual features. Numismatics, the study and collection of coins, thrives on such discoveries. It's not just about the monetary value but about preserving pieces of history. A rare 1993 penny is a tangible link to the past, a piece of American heritage that has survived for decades and continues to capture the imagination of those who appreciate its story. As with any collectible, authenticity is crucial. Serious collectors often have their coins professionally graded and encapsulated by trusted grading services like PCGS or NGC. This not only confirms the coin's quality but also protects it for future generations. The excitement around rare coins like the 1993 Lincoln penny shows no signs of fading. In fact, as time passes, these coins only become more interesting, especially as their numbers in pristine condition dwindle. This scarcity is what drives collectors to pay top dollar when a gem-quality example appears on the market. Sometimes, the value of a coin is boosted by its provenance. Knowing where it came from and how it was preserved can add an extra layer of appeal. A 1993 penny found in an old bank roll or inherited from a relative can carry both sentimental and financial worth. Collectors also appreciate the artistry of the Lincoln penny's obverse side, featuring the timeless portrait of Abraham Lincoln. This design, created by Victor David Brenner, has endured for over a century, making it one of the most recognizable coins in the world. While many people focus on gold and silver coins, the humble copper-plated zinc penny proves that even the smallest denomination can hold remarkable value under the right circumstances. This is a lesson every aspiring collector should remember. Never underestimate the potential of a simple coin. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just starting your collecting journey, the 1993 Lincoln penny offers a perfect example of how history, rarity, and condition can combine to create something truly special. It's a small coin with a big story, one that continues to captivate those who appreciate the hidden treasures of American currency, and for those lucky enough to find one of these rare, high-grade examples, the reward can be astonishing, with some selling for as much as $58,000.